I've been volunteering for organizations as far back as I can remember. I believe one makes a community better just by getting involved and staying active. And I believe that goes the same for men as it does for women. In any role I've ever served, whether in a professional or a volunteer role, I've always tried to serve more in a leadership capacity. I always wanted to make an example, and if I wasn't able to reinvent the wheel, which we don't always need to do, I always strive to make a project, take it to the next level, or make it better and help make an organization grow. You know, this was a tough one for me. There's actually a ton of things around the community I've always really loved getting involved with, from the arts to the Niagara and several other charities. But most dear to my heart is something probably most recent. I started volunteering for the city mission just a couple of months ago, and I found this wonderful little niche that I actually play the piano, and it's an instrument that I've played since I was 6 years old. And they actually have a baby grand piano in their lunchroom. So they serve, you know, those that are in need lunch on a daily basis. So every Thursday I go in and I play just background music for their patrons for about an hour. And I wasn't sure how the type of response I was going to get with something like that, but the people are just fabulous. They're very wonderful and kind, from the volunteers to the patrons, and I love just being around them. Well, ever since I was little, the biggest part of my life when I was growing up was music. So it was piano. And my mother's, you know, just dedication to getting me to stay with that, because she, you know, absolutely thought it was such a great gift that I had. So I ended up going to school for music and doing my undergrad in that, but I decided halfway through I didn't want to be in performance any longer. But I finished the degree out, went back and got my master's in public administration, and decided I really loved the nonprofit world. So I started working in various nonprofits. And when I was working in these different nonprofits, I really loved being able to give back to some level. And I found that I couldn't always do that on a professional degree, so I started volunteering for different organizations in the community, from the Villa Center to the Erie Art Museum to the Erie Philharmonic and the Neighborhood Art House, and I could go on and be obnoxious about it, but I don't want to be. But I do love volunteering and giving back. And it's and I really kind of see a major part of my life today is volunteering for different organizations and helping others as much as I can. Probably my greatest mentor is my mother, my parents in general, but my mother has always been just kind of by my side with everything I've done with music and my professional life and such. And one of the greatest things she ever told me, and it's just, I mean, it may seem very mundane, but it's just to treat others as you would want to be treated. I find that if you treat others with respect, that no matter what happens or what the situation is, you can always walk away with your head held high, and you always feel good about yourself at the end of the day. I guess I've always had little ones along the way. I've had a college professor who wouldn't even know today that he had any role in anything that I do, but he actually helped me with my writing, and I do a lot of writing today for different publications and in my job and such, and he actually told me I couldn't write, which was actually what prompted me to show him that I could do it. So I always find sometimes mentors are people that tell you you can't do something because they inspire you to do the opposite. The biggest thing I would tell women is never be afraid to fail, and because I never thought failure was a bad thing. In fact, I think it's something that we should all do probably more often than not, even though it's not something we want to experience. If we fail at something, plus I don't actually believe in the word fail per se. I believe that the only time you ever truly fail is when you give up on something. And I know we constantly fight to make things better in our lives or situations that we're in. But I do believe that failure builds character. Anytime that something doesn't go our way, it does build character. It makes us more humble. On an individual level, anybody that ever approaches me, I always have them contact me directly, and I love to help them out. But if they're just out there looking for any particular outlet, I mean, most of the time in most major cities and even the smaller cities, and if you're a young person, there's young professional groups out there that you can connect with, and they're great at outreach. That if you make the initial connection with them, they'll reach out to you and they'll help you find ways that you can get involved in the community. And truthfully, I still feel like I can give so much more than I've already given. But one of the things I feel I need to continually do on a day-to-day basis is improve my own expertise and skills to be able to give it a better level and to teach others and mentor more than I am today, because I want to continually do that throughout my life to a greater degree each time.